In today's video, Dog Squad, I'm going to be filling out my NFL 2025 to 26 playoff bracket. I might, do some predictions every week. In fact, that's probably what I will do. Based off the upcoming games, unless it's the games already predicted. Maybe probably do the ones that are newer than I expected, different than I expected the games to be based off this bracket. So make sure y'all stay tuned every week for all the videos and for those type of videos. Before we get into this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so never miss one of my videos. We're on the road to 2K subs. Now, let's fill out my bracket. Here we go. Dog Squad. So we start off with we're gonna start off with the wild card round here. Starting off with these AFC with the Steelers and the Texans. I think a lot of people have the Texans winning this game. I'm messing with you. Texans, I think, are gonna take this one. I just don't think the Steelers are just talented enough to beat this Texans offense or the Texans defense. The Steelers offense is just not. This is old Aaron Rodgers, maybe, but this is not the same Aaron Rodgers. This is going to have to go through a really good Texans defense, and this is probably the first time that Mike Tomlin loses on Monday Night Football. It just happened to be that way, and it could be his last game as a Steeler, so maybe that'll be the way to end his Steelers career. The Texans look dangerous. They do. Their offense, there's some things that they need help on offense, I think, but I think they have enough talent to do good enough, and their defense is phenomenal. I don't think they're inconsistent like some of the other defenses are. They're dang good. They're dang good. So this Texans team is dangerous. And they've been on a run. They're red hot right now. One of the longest streaks in the NFL. The Texans are going to win against the Steelers. Moving on, Jaguars and Bills. I'm sure a lot of y'all that are predicting these picks and brackets, all that, had a lot of trouble picking this. Let me give you my reason to kind of help to I'm not saying I'll be right. Hopefully I'm right, but I'm going to take Jacksonville in this one. I'm going to take the Jaguars. The reason I'm picking Jacksonville is when you really look at Buffalo, I think is just not trusting right now. They're having trouble protecting Allen as much as they probably should. They don't have the weapons. If they, it's going to be kind of harder on the pass game when you don't have Cook run the ball well. They're going into a hostile environment with a really good rush defense. Devin Lloyd, Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And the Bills struggle on the road. Yes, I get it's been Kansas City, but it's also been another place before. It's going to be tough for Buffalo. Their defense is good. They're just way too inconsistent. And this offense for Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence has been thriving against good defenses this year. They did it against Denver on the road. This is going to be tough for Buffalo. It's just too risky to pick them. And I don't think that Jacksonville will make it far. I'm going to give you that. I don't think they'll make it real far, I don't think they made the Super Bowl. I'm going to spoil that for you. But the Bills are just not deep enough as they used to be. Usually their defense is good. Josh Allen can make plays. He's got the talent. He's got this. We're going to get into Kansas City. This year's been off for them. They made it way too inconsistent. They've had injuries. They've had this. They've had that. That could be a key part where they're 60. But they have some weaknesses in the area, and they have some, also Josh Allen with the weapons last year. He had an MVP year. He's been pretty good this year, but I don't think he's as good as some. I think there's been overall some, coaching errors with Joe Brady. I think this team is just had a little setback this year, and they still get the 16. The Jaguars take the win here. It'll be a good game. I just don't think the Bills are quite ready. They've got the number one pass defense. They've got the number one rush offense. But Jacksonville has quite a bit of stuff that can overcome that. And they're at home. I'm going to take them as the win. Whenever they don't have to pass all the time, but when they do, when Jacksonville does, they get the win. Now Buffalo, yes, but Jacksonville, I think is the better team here. They narrowly escaped, I think, Buffalo. I think it'd probably be a walk-off field goal, walk-off touchdown. Patriots and Chargers. We'll take New England here. I don't trust the Chargers. I don't. Past 2 playoff games they had just messed it all up. I picked them last year, and I picked them, well, I might have picked them against Jacksonville when they blew that lead. I'm not really sure. But the Chargers, you haven't seen Justin Herbert perform to his high potential. You haven't seen the team perform to their high potential. You're going against New England. Mike Vrabel knows how to get his team ready. And Drake May has been phenomenal. You can say the Patriots haven't played anyone. I mean, really, they played a Buccaneers team that was, I think that was still good at the time. You beat the Bills, who are a good team. They're a playoff-worthy team, and you beat some other. Look, yeah, you beat some. Yeah, it's an easy schedule. It is what it is. So did Indiana. They made the championship, and they're dominating. New England's at home on a Sunday night. Take the win here for New England. They've got a pretty good developing offense, great defense. I think it'll be too much for LA, and I think they get the win here. There's my AFC bracket. All right, so moving on to the Panthers and Rams. This Rams team will be way too much for Carolina. This will not be like back in Week 13. This will be a much improved game for the Rams. They're coming in the playoffs knowing exactly that this is a team that has been fighting all year. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford will learn from their mistakes. This defense will learn from their mistakes. They've been a little off lately, but they'll get back into it. They're a pretty good dang defense with Jared Verse and all of them. They've got talent. Props to the Panthers for making it. I didn't have y'all making the playoffs. I thought y'all were kind of goofballs, Panthers fans, for picking the Panthers to go to the playoffs and saying y'all were playoffs. I didn't think y'all would do it, but y'all did. So good props to y'all. But the Rams, I think, will be too much now. It could be a fight. Rams could screw it all up. But we've seen the Rams in playoff games. They're trustworthy. Give me the Rams in this one. They're a talented team, deep threat team that can make a run. Here, I've already made my pick. The Niners, I believe, will beat the Eagles. You compare both of the teams. Eagles have a pretty good defense. Niners have a pretty good offense. They got Kittle back, they got Williams back, all them. So the pass protection is going to be pretty good, and the Eagles definitely have that. I think the main problem is with the Eagles against Philadelphia's offense. They will play way too many times to their own mistakes. It will be just so bad for them. They played against bad defense, and they do the same things. They played against us. And they scored 21 and didn't score a whole single point in the second half. They played against injured Buffalo team and struggled. I'm not going to say Buffalo, but then they seem like the offense to struggle. And then when they go against the bad defense. And then obviously, I just don't think it'll be enough. I think the Niners offense will eventually find ways to do something. And I think the Niners will come through and win the game. I just think that's what's going to be. I think the Niners are going to want revenge from a few years ago in the playoffs. I think the Niners will take this one. I'm going to go with my guts because I think the Niners will take this victory. Also, I just think Eagles got way too many problems right now. Coaching styles, wise, all that. I think they got way too many problems. The Niners take it and move on. The Bears and Packers. The Bears, I think, will get the win here. I do. I think they'll finally get that playoff win for the first time since 2010. The last time they won one was against Seattle. The last time they were in one, they lost to the Saints. And the last time they were in the playoffs, the last opponent they played, the end of their year, when they won the playoff game that year, was the Packers at home in the NFC Championship game. And they lost that game. So the Bears get their revenge from that time. That was a while back ago, but they get the win here. It was a while ago. It's a while from 2018 to 2025. They won no games against the Packers. Since then, they've won 2 since the beginning of 2025. They can win their third one here. I think they do. The defense, the defense might have some trouble. The offense might thrive with that Green Bay, but I think that Bears offense will get back together. I think it'll be a little bit more of a division game. We'll be back to ACC, and I think the Bears will pull away, somehow find a way to win. You trust Chicago. They like to win, and they will. Last week they struggled against Detroit. Not really sure what happened there against Detroit. Just keep on beating them. Ben Johnson looks like he cannot get a win over his old team. It looks like so. But the Bears take this one. All right, so you have a divisional round game. The first off, the Broncos taking on the Texans, a rematch from week number 9. Both teams have phenomenal defenses with probably mid-tier offenses, if not better. The Broncos are home, and they always say it's hard to be a team twice. The Texans have a lot of momentum right now. Denver is just, their defense is good, but I think they're not. They can be sometimes not reliable as much, and I think the Texans are going to start going off. I think their offense will come together and have some clicks. Their defense will be dominant again. Bo Nix, I think, is too inconsistent. I think the Texans take the victory here to move on to their first AFC Championship game in team franchise history. Good for them. I had them in the AFC Championship as well. Preseason, I didn't think it'd happen when they were 0-3, but now they look like they have a shot. Patient and Jags. We talked about the Jags getting the win over the Bills there. Having a pretty good talented offense with Trevor Lawrence. Being the number one rush defense. I think that's where they're going to come in handy. But I think they can get. It's going to be hard for them when Drake May's passing the ball. Drake May's is freaking going crazy this year. He's done really well. I think they're going to have some trouble. That pass defense is 19th in the nation. It's going to be tough for them. New England takes the win. They're home. I'm going to take it. Mike Vrabel, he's the man. He leads the team in the AFC Championship game to take on the Texans. All right, moving on. We have the Seahawks and the Niners and the Bears and the Rams. We have the Seahawks and Niners, the rematch from a couple weeks ago. This time it's in Seattle. The Seahawks, one of the best defenses in the league. The Niners taking on, I think the Seahawks have more trusting and more dominant defense. I think also the Seahawks offense can get going. They have a much better offense than the Eagles do. They're a more complete team than Philadelphia. I don't think the Niners are going to take that. The Seahawks will get the win. Revenge from home, not away, not last matchup, but the home matchup back in Week 1. Seattle makes their way to the NFC Championship for the first time since 2010. The Bears taking on the Rams. Can the Bears make the NFC Championship for the first time since 2010? Can they win 2 playoff games for the first time, I think, since around 2006 maybe? The Rams are pretty dang good as well. They got both sides, very balanced team. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, the defense is dominant. This team, I think, will be too much for Chicago. Even though Chicago's at home, I think the Rams will get the job done and will set up a match with their division rival, Seattle. So you take the AFC Championship and the NFC Championship. Texans Patriots in the AFC Championship, Seahawks Rams in the NFC Championship. You start with the AFC Championship game. You take a look at the Texans defense. They can give New England some trouble. New England's defense, I think, will make some stops against Houston's offense. I think Houston's offense will fire off fast, but then I think there will be a situation where they would get going. New England will have maybe some trouble. I think it will be a lower scoring game, but I think New England will get the job done. I think they'll hit on the Super Bowl. Look, you can judge me all you want, but look at the AFC. Look what a toss-up it is. It's such a toss-up compared to all the other others in the conferences. Now this one is dominance. I think the winner of this game probably could win the Super Bowl. But you'll check. The Seahawks, very good defense. The Rams, pretty good defense. The Seahawks, I'd say a top 10 offense, definitely top 7 offense in the league. Their points, they score a lot of points, but I think they're too inconsistent of an offense to be considered a high one. The Rams, really good offense. They had about one bad game this year on offense. Last time they met up was a shootout and overtime with a 2-point conversion, Seattle winning. This time, I think the Rams will take the win. They will get revenge from that game. I just don't think Sam Darnold's able to keep him capable of leading that offense to the Super Bowl. I just don't really see it. I think Matthew Stafford, with this whole MVP thing going on, with the way the team has been, I trust them way more. They're dominant. They can pass, they can run, they can do about anything on this team. They're very, very, very talented with Sean McVay at the helm, at head coach. This is a very good team right now that can beat Seattle, and it'll be close. I'm taking LA in this matchup here. Now, Patriots Rams. What is this? What's the common denominator here? You're right. You guessed it. Yeah, you think it's a math video, don't you? Both quarterbacks are MVPs. It's gonna be funny too, because it's gonna be like the NFL honors. If this is true, the NFL honors right before the Super Bowl. That Thursday for the Super Bowl. And there it is. They get to MVP against each other, and then they get to Super Bowl. You get Super Bowl MVP and then MVP. But the Patriots and Rams taking each other. Look, take a look at the Patriots. Pretty good defense. You can make good plays. Drake May's been balling. I think the Rams also, this team, Matthew Stafford, look, I'm pointing them out as well is because of their experience in these big situations. I think the Patriots are right now too young to be having a Super Bowl victory, but they definitely, I think they can make it there. Also, besides with the, some of this inexperience here too. Patriots are a very well-rounded team. They're pretty balanced. The Rams, I think, are just more dominant on both sides, as mentioned before. They got the players that can make the plays. I know Stafford's a veteran. He's an elite quarterback right now. He will make those plays. His offense will. His defense will. I don't think they'll make as many mistakes as the Patriots. I think it'll be just a little harder for them, but I think it'll be a good Super Bowl. If this is the case, I'm going to take the Rams as my Super Bowl champion. They're the complete team right now. Offense, defense, special teams. Overall, they're a pretty good team. Patriots got a good squad. They're pretty good, dang good too. Yes, their schedule is easy, but they got a lot of talent on that team. They do have Stephon Diggs only, and then Drake May's been playing well. They can run the ball with TreyDOGaming Henderson. Their defense has been much more upgraded. When there are a lot of points allowed, all of them, the yards allowed, they've been pretty efficient there this year, but I think the Rams are just too much for them. They're winning the Super Bowl, and I'm going to put 305. We'll do that. And that will end it, Dog Squad. Those are my NFL predictions. Make sure to let me know who you have winning the Super Bowl and what your picks are for your bracket. And thank you so much for watching, Dog Squad. Have a great rest of your day or night. Peace.